Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever, depending on wherever you're joining us from. Okay, my name is Ebere Meritelma and I'm the founder of Sisters Ally Foundation. And this is our online monthly mentorship for the month of July and August. Okay, so and today we have a very a very unique person here with us. We're supposed to have two guests actually, but our second guest had a family emergency, so she couldn't join us. But she would have another section with her before the month ends. But today we have with us Loretta Obimdike, and she's the founder and director of GECCI. So I'm just going to give her the floor to give her opportunity to introduce herself and what she does, who she is. Let's get to meet her. Sis.
Okay, hello everyone. Just like she already pointed out, I'm Loretta Obimdike and the founder and director of Green Environment and Climate Change Initiative, the GECCI. So what we do, we are environmental conservation organization, and we are existing because we want to contribute in the fight against climate change. So we do that by through the climate education, because I think without education, if we don't educate the people, they wouldn't know how to help in contributing to this cause. So we carry out environmental education in communities, in schools, and we also do the ecosystem restoration activities just to contribute, because we can only contribute. We cannot do everything all on our own. So we join the rest of the world in contributing to that cause. So that's what we do at Geshi. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that very beautiful introduction. So I'm going to get back to what you said about contributing and partnering with others, to do the work you do. But before I get to that, I would like you to give us a brief introduction about your childhood, growing up, your experiences. I want to see if we can link what you do to where you're coming from.
Oh, wow. Okay. My childhood, mm, like I used to tell my mom that I don't remember anything that happened in my childhood. So, like if I'm not, but my childhood has what I am now and my childhood, I think there has nothing to do in common or something. So that I am today is because I was intentional about who I want to become, kind of. Because while growing up, I was so introverted that I hardly talk to people. I stay on my own mostly. I don't know, but for some reasons, I grew up that way. But today, I think it's not that way again. Though I am not so an extrovert of a person, but at least I get along. I talk to people, and I would attribute that or the success of that to being intentional, because it was just intentionality. Because I was like, okay, since I'm like this, I shouldn't end up like that, because I think the trajectory that I want to follow doesn't require me to be an introvert or to just be on my own. So I reading books, and I had to buy a lot of books. Though I had a mentor, let me just say that I had someone that introduced me to reading books. At least he bought my first book. He has been my mentor ever since then, because he was the one that guided my way and helped me into the book reading club. So I started reading, and that was where I got some clarity and how to go about being who I want to become. So my childhood, I would say, doesn't really have anything to do with what I became today.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy you shared this, because you know that most times, our topic today is about making career choices, right?
Yeah.
And primarily what we do in SAF is to help guide young adults, teenagers, people who are in that stage where they are like, okay, should I go this way or that way? So what next? What do I do from here? Okay, so some people make decisions for different reasons. They decide, okay, my friend is doing this, I should do this. Or my father said I should do this, I should do this, and then I'm going to do this. So you get that kind of thing. So, but I like the fact that you pointed out being intentional about who you want to be and
Yeah.
what you want to achieve for your life, and mentorship as well, you know. So having that in mind, so I don't know if I think your question has partially answered this, but I'm still going to ask anyway. Um, did you, after secondary school, right? You know how you write WAEC, NECO,
Mhm.
you bought JAM form. Did you feel what did you study? What was your course of study,
I
first of
studied
all?
forestry and wildlife management. Forestry and
So
wildlife. Yeah.
was that what you wrote on your JAM form that you wanted
Of
to
course
study?
not. Of course. I didn't even know about forestry and wildlife before I got into the course. Like, okay, if I should give that story, I I bought my jam form. I wrote okay, I got into the pre-science because pre-science is like sort of after school for school leavers. Then from there, they might get admission to go into the higher education. So I got the pre-science, and during the period of it, I took JAMB and all those, but my JAMB result wasn't so good. Like I didn't have so much of a grade that would carry me into the medicine that I wanted. So then still, I was still skeptical, but I was okay because pre-science, JAMB will give you their own, pre-science will also give you admission. So I got through the university through pre-science. Though in the pre-science, I also applied for medicine, but at the end of the day, I was thrown into the forest and wildlife department or the course or something. But but that was my first time of knowing about the course anyway. And I was like, okay, forest and wildlife, what is that? What do I have to make of this? After studying it, what will I become? Like there were so many questions. But the day I went for registration in the university, I met a woman in the administrative unit. And that woman actually gave me some hope in the forestry because I was like, okay, let me just do my first year. So I will not stay at home. After my first year, like that period, I will write another jam and go to the course of my choice or something. But that woman that day, actually, I don't know, but when I think about it now, I felt like, or I feel like they sent that woman to talk to me that day. She was just talking. She told me about how someone that read forestry now works in the World Bank, how someone, like, she was just saying so many things that I was like, okay, maybe this woman wants me to consider this, then let's go on. I don't know, but maybe it will be something good if I should. So that was how I went through after year one. My dad asked me whether I still want to continue because I had an agreement with my dad that after my year one that I will now change course. But after my year one, he called me, what do you think? Do you like the course and all of those? Or what of the jam? I was like, okay, that I think like I should stay here. You're mute. You said something?
So what? Okay, she's back.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Please, you ended the story with when the woman you met in the administrative office, what she was telling you.
Okay, she told me a lot of things. How people that studied forestry works in the World Bank, and some of them that has a very high position in the public spaces and all of those. And she tried to mention some names and some names that I don't know, but she gave me some hope that day. So I was like, okay, let's go on with this. And that was how after my year one, I had an agreement with my dad to actually change my course after my year one. So after that, he called me. So what is happening? I was like, okay, but I feel like I should continue with this. And he was like, okay, that's fine. Your decision. And that was how I followed through to but okay, thank you. Maybe in the next one I might answer, or I should continue because,
Okay, no, no, okay, don't worry. Let me ask the next question.
okay.
I'm sure we'll still get back to what you want to say. Okay, so now looking at your life now, do you think you would have done better as a medical doctor? Do you think you would have been happier or maybe more successful as a medical doctor?
Um, I wouldn't say no, I wouldn't say yes, but the fact that I turned out this way in this environmental field is something that every day I tell God that I think you're still with the master sheet of my life, like you're with the blueprint. And I couldn't have done it any other way than how I'm doing it now. So I don't actually, I don't think I've actually compared them before. So it will be a very difficult question for me to answer now. So what I do only is to tell God that you are with the master sheet of my life. So leave me on.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So the thing is, when you were sharing your story, I actually saw a lot of similarity, with my own journey as well. You get a lot of similarity. I think that's the story of an average Nigerian, right? But yeah, for almost every Nigerian. But one thing is just like you said. One thing I always tell myself is that most times God actually has the plan, right? We may not really know exactly what He wants to do, but He always has the plan, especially for those of us that are not even sure.
Of
I
course.
always tell people that after my secondary school, I wasn't really sure. Let's be honest. I wasn't sure what I wanted to be. I was praying and I told God, just, you know me, you know my future. Carry me to where you want me to be. And the first time I saw food science and technology was on my admission letter, like merit list, the list. I was like, which one is food science and technology again?
Okay.
know, but after my 100 level, I started enjoying it. I started enjoying the course, and I decided to just continue. And today, I'm happy with what I studied. Right. So, we are talking about making career choices, and most times it's not exactly like, I feel like from the conversation we're having, it's not like something you do, a straightforward answer kind of thing. For some people, some of them, even from when they were babies, they start dreaming, seeing themselves as medical
Yeah.
doctors, or dreaming, seeing themselves doing this. We have all those peculiar kind of cases. But then there
Yeah.
are people like us, where we just rely on God to keep guiding us each step of the way, right?
Yeah.
Each step of the way. So, but I also think I want to ask something. I want to ask you a question. So regarding, because this thing we are saying, I never heard about food science. You never heard about forestry. Do you think something can be done better to better educate young people on opportunities they have and things they can actually do? Letting people in science know, now tech is trending, and and some other things that are trending, that apart from tech, apart from medicine, apart from other things, there are some other courses that people have not even really exploited. And then the people that have even exploited the course, some of them do not even understand what they studied. They don't even understand the need of what they studied, and what they can actually do with what they studied. I mean, see what you're doing with your organization, right? You're educating people and doing all those things. And this is something that a lot of people should do. You're not the only person that studied that in your class. I don't know how many people in your class are doing it at this moment. Maybe some of them might even be feeling like the course they studied is useless, right? So do you think um there's a gap between what students know, the options students have, and what they currently know? And who do you think is responsible for educating students or teenagers or young adults on the options that are available for them, and how they can take advantage of those opportunities?
Okay. Thank you. The thing is, the school system should be able to let, well, at least that's why we have biology, we have mathematics, we have English, we have so many subjects in school for them to let the students know, because most time parents don't even know about these courses. Like it was when I
True.
got forestry that my parents had to know that there is a course like forestry. So, and that was why my dad stood by me, like, if you don't want this course, then after year one, let's go into another one. Yeah. So I think from school should be able to explore these options to the students, and also with the guidance of the government and also the civil society organizations. I think that's why they exist, because they exist to fill gaps. So they should be able to fill these gaps in school. Like, okay, even if the teachers are not doing it, or the schools are not doing enough in letting the students know about these courses, at least the civil society organizations visit schools. So it is left for them to let them know like the job opportunities that are in this field. Like if I am in the gender, if I'm in the gender session or gender, topic, then I should be able to let as many young people as possible know the job opportunity that abounds in the gender field. Then if I'm in the environmental field, I should be able to let them know about the job opportunities that abound there. Because we grew up with the mindset of being medical doctors, lawyers, and all of those things. And most times anybody that wants to do something different from these things are seen as someone not serious, or as someone dull, or as someone that has nothing to do, like the future is not planned for this person. But that is not how it's meant to be. So if these people, everybody encompassing, like there's nobody's work alone, just that I think there more people have more work to do than the other. But everybody has their own role to play in telling or letting the young ones know about different professions that they can delve into. The school, I send my children to school because I feel like they have the qualified teachers there to let them know of so many things. So the school has a role to play. The parents on their own have roles to play, yes, because that is the first educational field for a child. So the parents have their own role to play, even if they are limited. But still, they should go all and out to let the young ones, their wards, know of these things. Then just like I said before, the civil society organizations, they exist because of these gaps. And the government, their own is even because their own carries everybody along. So the government should do all that is possible to give the school or anybody in charge what it takes to actually let these works be done. So I feel it's everybody's job to do and not just one person or one particular set of people. So thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. Why did you go into climate change education? Why do you do what you do? You know, you could have done anything else. You could have worked in
Yeah.
World Bank, like that woman was insinuating, or you'd have
Yes.
collected one political appointment. You get, or maybe you could have just decided to do buying and selling, whatever. Why climate change education?
Okay, after my university education, just like every other Nigerian, I my NYSC, the 1 year compulsory NYSC, and I did mine in Enugu State. So why going through my NYSC stuff, I had some friends like from my CDS, from everything. So one guy from my CDS was like that the company that he's with has an NGO, like NGO that they contracted and they're looking like they're open for employment. I was like, why are you telling me? Because me, I had the mindset that I'm not going to work for anybody. So why are you telling me? And I don't want to work for anybody. Like, I just want to do this NYSC, then go into entrepreneurship and do something different. Like, I don't know. It's not even planned at that point, like what I would actually be doing or what to do with my life per se. But he told me, he kept on pestering me. I should just do it. I should just apply. Like I was like, okay. And I wrote I think that was the first time I wrote a CV for myself. I wrote a CV, wrote my application letter, and sent to the office that was hiring. So, and I was called for interview, the first interview, the second interview, and the next thing I saw was I got the employment while still in my NYSC. Like it was, okay, I was like, how am I going to juggle between it? He was like, I can do it. Like I think I would attribute that success to him because he pushed me all on. Even when I tell him that I don't think I can be able to do it, like this is a lady that wants to do her entrepreneurship. Like she doesn't want to work for anybody. So why trying to push me into it? Was like, just do it. It can be maybe something to while away your time or something. I was like, okay. I got the job. I went there the first day I told them because I think it was my first day that I told them that I'm still doing my NYSC here. So I don't think that I can be coming on the day of my CDS. And they said, okay, on the day of your CDS, you take it a day off. Like go for your CDS and and it was like it is all working out. But that job was actually a job of an environmental officer. The NGO was contracted by the Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NUMA. So they're consulting for them as a livelihood specialist in their host communities where they are working in Enugu State. So they were looking for environmental officer, and because I studied forestry and more of I had something, like I know a little bit of what environmental, like being an environmental officer entails. So I took up the job. So I worked with community people. We did so many workshops. We did so many things with them. I had to educate them, being with them, because my job is in the field, not actually in the office. The only thing I do in the office is to write report. So it was during my course of working in that job that I noticed the gap in our environment. Like, it was like, because everything, I asked so many questions. Yeah, I asked so many questions to the communities because they were erosion ravaged communities. There are something like, Anambra State, not just the whole of Nigeria, like almost all the states in Nigeria are prone to erosion. Not just prone, most of them are suffering from this erosion mania. So, and these people, they had so many, these communities, we worked in so many communities in Enugu State. And most of them, the erosion has eaten up their homes. It has eaten up their source of livelihood. It has rendered most of them homeless. Like, it was something unthinkable. Like, I was like, if this thing is going on, and we are still practicing what we are practicing, like sand excavation. You know that sand excavation is not good, and it leads to erosion. And it's built up because erosion builds up. And all these things, you still practice it when you know that it will be of the effect will be so massive on you people, and you cannot handle it. So during that work and some other thing, this is just, the sand excavation is just one of the examples. It was during that work that I noticed that, from my discussion and just their practices, let me know that it was actually a behavioral problem. So when I tell people today that most of our environmental challenges are behavioral, like, I have seen it. So that was when I was like, okay, if this thing is behavioral, then we should go into educating people. Because I think the hallmark of education, it's where it doesn't lie, where on just when after teaching, or maybe the ignorance doesn't even count. So the hallmark of education is to let people know that this is what they are doing that are causing this. Let them know, show them that thing that they are doing. If you show them and also lead them into the actions, then I think that they will say, okay, oh, this is how this thing happens. And they would be able to leave some of those practices, though not immediately, but as time goes on. So that was when I said, okay, since this thing is like this, I think it's education. And we had so many workshops, just like I said before, with them, and so many things that they should do. And it was good. It was a livelihood project. So they were provided with livelihood opportunities also. So it was when the contract ended, because it wasn't a contract, just like I said before, that I was okay. I told myself I can go to schools and teach, because these are older people. And they don't even take in these words, like when you tell them. But when you tell them, it feels as if that, look at this young girl, like, we've lived in this world for so long before you came. So why are you trying to, like, it's so difficult to change their mindset, like to change the mindset of the old. If you have done anything with, like, teaching them, it's just so difficult. So that was when I was like, okay, then I should start going to schools to teach the young ones, like to teach them that this is not the norm. Wait, this is not how it should be done. Even if you have grown to see it this way, doesn't mean that it will be this way. So that was how I was, okay, we started with climate change education. That was why we started going to schools, talking to students that, do you know what climate change is? We don't start from climate change itself. We start from our environment, because the climate change is just a section of the environment. It's just a part of it, because, yeah. So we started from the environment, talking. Okay, have you heard of climate change? Some say yes, some say no. What do you think that climate change is, or what causes climate change? And after everything, we found out that it is our own activities that leads to this climate change. So that was how the idea of Green Environment and Climate Change Initiative came in. So it wasn't there from the beginning. We came on in, that was 25th February 2021. That was actually the day we founded the organization. And since then, it has been good, and it has been, yeah, it has been wonderful going through the climate education, telling the young ones about the environment, mostly the ones that are prevalent in our immediate environment, like telling them that this is our own problem. And if everybody solves their own community problems, then the world will be safe. Because I cannot be talking about things that are happening somewhere else. Because I think if every community in the world solves their own climate problem, then the whole world is saved already, because everybody is doing their own part. So I teach them to be able to know that, okay, this is the problem that we are having: problem of waste management, problem of erosion, problem of sand excavation, problem of all these things. So when you're in policy, because I teach them climate education too, not for them to become all the environmentalists, or for them to leave every other profession and be the way in the environment. I go about this climate education because it is like a bedrock for others. As a medical doctor, you should know the role the environment plays. Because even in the climate system, we have climate and health. Yeah, we have climate and finance. So we have climate and economics and all of those things. So all of them are intertwined. So it's just for them to know what they, as a medical doctor, what can you do to help? Because the idea, and I don't know, it's like, okay, well, let me just continue. The idea of the green skill, when I talk about green skill to people, is not for them to just everybody go into the renewable energy sector, or go into the upcycling sector, or go into this or that, because they are all related to the environment. The idea of green skills lies in anywhere you are. Know what to apply, know where to apply the green skill. If you are in the hospital, know what you will do. If the tissues in the hospital are what you use most and they are consumed, then you should find another way to do it, so that the waste will not be accumulating so much. So that is everything about green skill. Sorry, I talked about green skill because I had in mind of it. Today is the youth
Youth Day.
International Youth Day,
Yes.
and the theme is on the green skill for sustainable development. So that was why the thing just came to my mind, and I just have to say it out again. So thank you.
Yes, you know what you just said made a lot of points, because I'm in the food sector, right? So, and the when I eventually made up my mind I was going into the restaurant business area, one thing that has always stood out for me is packaging, right? Because
Mhm.
we have all these plastics and other things, and you see these things every day, they are littered around. So the question I always ask myself is, what can I do to make sure to contribute towards reducing all these waste littering around everywhere? Yet even if they pack it and dump it somewhere else, it's still going to be there. So it's just like you said, everybody has a role to play in terms of climate, because this is our planet and we don't have another one. We don't have any other. Nobody, even if people are making plans to move to Mars, if we mess up this place, we still mess up Mars. still,
Sure,
still mess up
definitely.
everywhere. So it's actually like you said, it's behavioral, and it's something everybody needs to factor in, right? So I just like how you are all passionate about what you do. And I wanted to there's a question I want to ask, right? But before I ask that question, I want to point out something. When you said about seeing a gap and filling it, right? So one thing about making career choices, and I'm pointing out from this our conversation, is it may not necessarily even be about what you studied in school, right? Your career choice may not necessarily be about what you studied in school. There's something I tell people about education, right? There's something education does. Education, apart from giving you knowledge about a particular field of study, it opens up your mind, right? Especially higher education. We call it Mahadu in Igbo, meaning you should know
Marahatu.
everything. Yeah, you should know everything. That is what they mean when you're a university graduate. And that definition is not really far from what it should be, because education is not just about becoming a medical doctor. It's about becoming open-minded, such that that's why they say this person is behaving like someone that did not go to school, and this person is behaving like someone that went to school. So this thing
Yeah.
should tell us that education is not just about becoming this or becoming that, in terms of course of study or field. It's in terms of
Yeah.
who you become as a person, your ability to think differently, your ability to behave differently, to relate differently with people, to handle situations differently. That is what the primary goal of education, in my opinion. That's what I tell people. I feel like education just transforms you as a person, your mindset, everything, right? So it's not necessarily about becoming exactly what you studied, it's about who you become. Now, when we come to making career choices, what I'm getting from what you're saying is that we follow a particular, we follow the clue, right? We follow the cue, like when you said you got that job, then you discovered the gap, then you started the organization. You see, it's like you're just following, you're taking the cue from, okay, this is what I should do. You get. So it's actually about solving problems. When you want to make career choices, you need to find out a problem that stands out for you and what you can do to solve that problem. You get. I feel like this is one of the bedrock for any young person that is struggling with making career choices, right? I know people, there was something I saw yesterday. Somebody was saying, even if what you're passionate about is money, you're still passionate about something. So someone will say, maybe I'm passionate about money. So whatever I do to get money is something, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
If it is money you're passionate about now, pursue that money. And I tell you, in your quest for pursuing that money, you eventually find out what stands out for you. The goal
Exactly.
is, do not be idle. Don't stay idle and just fold your hands and do nothing. Do something, right? So now, in the course of doing something, in the course of solving a problem, that problem might be a personal need, working, doing odd jobs to feel to meet your own needs or the needs of your family. Maybe in the course of doing that, you now find out other peculiar problems you can solve, right? So I feel like your everything you say just pointed towards that, right? So and I really appreciate your openness, your the way you're able to communicate your points and everything clearly. One more question I want to ask is um about what you do currently, right? So when sometimes there's some courses somebody will tell you, somebody say, I got admission, no, and you're like, okay, what did they offer you? You say, the person will now say forestry, you get, or fisheries and aquaculture, or you get all those courses we used to laugh at, right? So some people even feel bad about the courses. So, but I want you to share your experience so far. All right. So, because personally, I know that you've gotten opportunities based on your experience in your field of study, based on the education you have in that sector. So I want you to talk a little bit about opportunities you've been able to experience, to enjoy because of what you studied and what you do in environmental management. I want people to know that it's not only medical doctors that have prestige. It's not only people in tech that have you get swag. There are people in other sectors that we may never hear about that also enjoy a lot of international opportunities and even local opportunities too that they may never tell us. All right, so I want you to share it so that if anybody is passionate about the environment, the person will not be feeling, like you said, left out or feeling different. I remember there was this boy, they used to live behind my compound. He likes anything animal, anything animal. You see him then, it can be earthworm that is crawling, and he just be clearing the path so that the earthworm will not get injured. You get, or ants that is crawling. He'll be looking for a way to make way for. He just loved animals. If it's chicken, it remain let him sleep with the chicken on his bed. He just loved animals. Right. So and we used to think he was very weird that time. Like there must be something wrong with this boy. You get. So, but I just want you to talk about it so that anybody that is in that place will have some sort of encouragement to further continue doing what they do.
Okay. Thank you. I will start by saying while in school, My friends do call me Onye Mborogu na Mkpa Akwụkwọ because I'm studying forestry one. Yeah, it wasn't a good name as at then. Yeah,
As a
I felt,
herbalist.
yeah, herbalist, like Onye Mborogu, like, why are you studying forestry? Sometimes when I tell people my course, they say like, like forestry? I said yes. So, but in the course of it, I browsed a lot about forestry, everything, like wanting to know all about it, wanting to know the opportunities and all. So I found out that there are so many opportunities in the Western world for forestry graduates. And to even get into the forestry department or into the forestry sector is actually a work for them there because you need to work so hard to do that. I was like, okay, that one is there, but that place is not Nigeria. But still, I kept the hope high. But coming to the question, opportunities that come with it, I would say that one thing that actually helped me in this my field was volunteering. Like, yeah, I wanted to mention it because it's like volunteering is a big part of my success, or is a big part because it's I'm still going on in this thing, this environmental field and all. But volunteering is one thing because it was volunteering that opened door for opportunities for me. So anybody listening, like I want you to take keen interest because volunteering is not just an act of kindness. Yeah, it might be, but volunteering is where you grow yourself. Like I think the big part of volunteering for me is the personal development that comes from it. Because it is when you let yourself out to do things for people that is not going to pay you. Like these people are not going to give you anything. You are not going to get paid from it. But you want to do it because you know where you're going. That was why I mentioned initially intentionality. It was among the things that, yeah, because I wanted to grow myself. Like I told you before, I was an introvert. Like I was a dead introvert. Like I can't talk to anybody. But when I started talking, like the first time I made a presentation in my university, it was a flop. Like I wanted the ground to open so I can enter inside it because like I felt like everybody that day were just mocking me because I wasn't able to do this speaking stuff, like the public speaking, like everybody calls it. But what happened? I didn't let it, like, yeah, it pained me. It did everything that it did to me and all. I still, like, the inferiority complex on that side was so high. But what did I do? I said, okay, if this is a problem to me, a challenge to me, then I should go all out for myself. I started buying books on public speaking. I started engaging myself with people to be able to speak. And I volunteered just to be able to do things that I cannot do. And okay, I went to Germany the first time from an opportunity I got in Germany here with the International Sustainability Academy. I got to know about this academy through someone that I've been here. And I met that someone when the person made a call because she did a project in Lagos State, Nigeria. Like I was like, what will carry me to Lagos? And they will not pay my transport. But I was okay, since I saw this thing and I applied for it and they gave me. Another thing was the transport. I was like, should I go for this or I should just let it be? Because since they will not give me this transport, why should I go there? But I was okay, it's just a transport that I'm gonna get it for. That they will take care of my feeding and accommodation. But that's fine. So and I went. I went there, someone asked me, so it's because of this thing that I came to Lagos. like, like it's crazy, but these are the things that you get when people don't actually understand the field that you are in. So I went for it. I asked the girl, like, it was during the program that I got to know, because it was a 3-day program. It was during the program that I got to know that it's an organization in the Germany that she's doing the program through. So I started asking her about the program and what it's all about. She told me, and I followed them on all their social media pages. Yeah, I followed the ISA on all their social media pages just to know more and to know when the next call of application comes in. So, and that was it. I read about them that you have to prepare a project. I got myself a bit ready because I was okay, since the application is not out, I just did some things. I was okay, when the application is out, I can be able to just round it off and submit. And that was it. I prepared. And when the call came out, I applied, and in the first time I got it, like more than 100 and, did I say 100? More than 300 and something persons applied. And I was among the 13 persons that got into the program. So it was like, I would say, opportunity and also preparedness met in the way, because I was prepared to go for like preparing myself for this kind of opportunities. And just like I said, the volunteering also helped with it, because it was going out all out of myself that I was even able to join the group that I joined, to be able to see that call for application from our own side. So the thing is, be all out. Volunteer for causes, because through volunteering you meet people. And these people that we meet in the volunteering are the people that builds up our network and even our relationships. So I don't think I take it for granted. That's why every young person, I'm a young person, and if I meet people today, I tell them, volunteer for that cause that you want. If you enjoy the health sector, volunteer for people in the health sector. Like my mentor volunteered for a radio station for 1 year and without any pay. Like, it was sort of a very big motivation for me. You know, that was why mentorship is actually a very good thing when you want to start out in your career, or your career choices, your career development, and all of those. Because you need to find people that are higher. Though my mentor is not in the environmental field, but I was able to pick some things that he does in his own field. Because these things are just like the prerequisite for, like, it's just like a step to go where you want to go. So volunteering, mentorship, and all are just all embedded to give me the opportunities that I have today. And I would say I'm starting my master's now, and in Germany too. So if I'm telling you, so these are the things. There are other opportunities that are through my organization on a personal level that I've been able to get, and it doesn't just come in one. You know, I wanted to say career choices for me has 3 things. Like, you have your interest, then you have your skills, and you also have your strength. Yeah, the strength is the last one. So the interest, what are you interested in? Because me, you see, it wasn't what I was interested in from the beginning, because interest grows. And when it grows, just let it, even when you don't know the trajectory that it will put you. Just try to be determined. Do everything that you can in that thing that you want to do. And before you know it, things that you don't even know where they'll come out from will come out from it. And you will excel. Like, from there, you start excelling. That is where interest comes in when it comes to career choice. You need to be interested. Because if you're not interested in the environment, no matter what I tell you in the environment, so like how the opportunities are there and all, even if you finally get something there, you will not be happy. And I think the main point of actually living, working, looking for all these things is to make ourselves happy. And the skills part of it, I think that one is one thing also that I wanted to hint on when I talk about volunteering, because in volunteering, you need to volunteer with your skills, because that is where you refine it. Skills can be anything. There are soft skills, there are hard skills. The soft skills, the communication, the critical thinking, and all. Then the hard skill, maybe web development, graphic designing, fashion designing, or and all. These are even mechanic is a hard skill. So these are the skills that make up, because when you have your skill and you volunteer with it, even if you don't have your skill, people grow skills during volunteering. people refine their skills during volunteering. So you have to, even when when you don't have any opportunities in ground right now, volunteer with what you have. Even if when you don't know anything at all, what you want to become or any skill that you have, then try to find an organization or maybe something that you will be using. Like, go there. If they allow you to be coming, just be going there. Wait, even if it's in a cyber cafe, you are interested in operating system, knowing about softwares and all of those things. If you go there and they accept it, just be there. Before you know it, your interest will grow there, and you have a skill in that particular thing. Because you cannot make career choices when you don't prepare for all of these small things that are in. I think the small things are actually what makes the big thing. And you cannot deny those small things. If you deny them, then there is no big thing coming.
True.
So anybody listening or the people listening, volunteering is a big part of it. Even when you already have something doing. Me here, I still volunteer till this day. Even when you have something doing, because we learn every day, we grow every day. And there is nobody that knows it all except God. So for us to keep on growing, for us to keep on breaking those boundaries that we want to break, we need to go all out of ourselves. Even when you have an organization, maybe have the job, maybe have running this entrepreneurship business or something, there is still something that you will do. Like there are people that are that you can volunteer your skills for. And maybe even there you're volunteering your skills for free. You will get someone that would help you. Or maybe you're looking for funds for a project. You will get someone that will help you with that funds from there. So you cannot really know. There are so many things. So in career choices, allow yourself to put everything or lead everything with you so that you will have so many options. I don't think I can ever talk about career choices or things without talking about volunteering, because I think that is actually where it all starts. Then if you are lucky enough, or if you're among the 1% or the 10% that has everything with you, then you should be able to teach others, let them know that this is it. Or okay, even though I did not volunteer, but this is how it should be done.
You can even volunteer to teach.
Yeah. That is also an aspect of volunteering. Yeah, that is an aspect.
You can't run away from it.
Yeah, yes.
Run away. I even just recently signed up with an organization because I observed that I've been wanting to learn data management, data analysis, that area. And I just, I was talking with the founder one time, and she was letting me know that they set up a new M&E team and all. I was just like, I just mentioned it casually, and she quickly jumped on the offer that I should join the team, right? So, I mean, volunteering can never be, it's an opportunity to refine yourself, because you can make mistakes while volunteering and you'll be forgiven, you'll be corrected. Somebody will teach you and guide you, and you become better. But if somebody is paying you salary, you can't afford to make mistakes. When you make mistakes, you'll be penalized for it. You can be given query or whatever it is. But when you're volunteering, everybody they will understand that, okay, maybe you're not really perfect with this skill, even if you're perfect, right? It's like you're growing with a family, you're building relationships and all those other things, right? So I'm really very happy that you mentioned volunteering with respect to this career choice thing, because with this generation now, everybody thinks the money just falls from the sky, right? Opportunity just fall from the sky. You get, I remember the first time I applied for Shivning scholarship. I think that was in 2018 or 2019 or thereabouts, and they were asking for job experience, right? Volunteering opportunities that you've done. I didn't know anything about anything like that. Nobody told me I was supposed to be working while in school or volunteering while in school. But my friends that already knew before me were already volunteering with non-profits and stuff while we were still in school. But I didn't know, and that was why I didn't get that scholarship that year. Right. So volunteering it's very important. It's an opportunity to build yourself up, to make all the mistakes that needs to be made and learn all the lessons that needs to be learned. So it's just like you said, to refine yourself, to become a better version of somebody, and grow your skill, grow expertise, learn about opportunities, get correct mentors. It's really in volunteering that you get good mentors, because anybody who is volunteering already knows something you don't know. Right? So get good mentors, build good networks. All those things can only be found when you volunteer. Right? So this has been a very interesting section. And to be honest, one thing with these our mentorship sections is we don't just do it like question answer question. It's usually in the conversation that you get your answer to the questions you may have.
What happened? Oh, well. Now when I shall join back.
So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We are very sorry for that break in transmission, like they say. Thank you very much for joining us for this month's section. We'll be coming your way again towards the end of the month with our second guest that would have joined us today. Coming your way again with the same conversation. She's someone from an entirely different field, not the regular kind of field we know about, right? So she'll be coming to share her own experiences as well. And if you want to learn more about making career choices, we'll invite you to join us and we'll also let you know once we set the date and time. Thank you very much and see you some other time. Bye.